Latest shakeups at the White House. There you see Hope Hicks saying goodbye to the president Thursday. And this morning, there's new fallout from his latest fire, the head of the VA. We're going to hear from Dr. David Shulkin in a moment. First, let's go to ABC's Mary Bruce at the White House. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, we saw the president there bid a very fond farewell to Hope Hicks, but it was a very different send-off for VA Secretary David Shulkin, the president announcing he was fired in a tweet. He's now the 8th high-profile firing or departure just this month, and the president's pick to replace him, his own doctor, Rear Admiral Ronnie Jackson, is raising a lot of questions. The president is putting his personal physician in charge of the second-largest federal agency overseeing the care of roughly 9 million veterans and a nearly $200 billion budget. And while Jackson may have experience running the White House medical unit and clearly has hit it off with the president, he does not have management experience on this scale. Now, veterans groups are skeptical he's up to the task, and lawmakers up on Capitol Hill are raising questions about whether he can run this massive agency. And David Shulkin, George, he is not going quietly. He says he's the victim here of an ugly political power play.
Thanks, Mary. We are joined now by Dr. Shulkin. Dr. Shulkin, thank you for joining us this morning. I know you've been a busy man the last couple of days. And yesterday, I want to start. The president talked about not being satisfied with the level of care at the VA. Let's listen.
I wasn't happy with the speed with which our veterans were taken care of. We made changes because we want them taken care of. We want them to have choice, so that they can run to a private doctor and take care of it. And it's going to get done.
I know you spoke to the president before you were fired on Wednesday. Is that what he told you on the call?
Well, the president and I did talk about what we were doing to improve the VA and how we could speed things up. I agree with the president. We have to do more and we have to do better for our veterans.
So, but did he tell you he was not satisfied, and did he tell you you were losing your job?
The president asked me about the types of things that we were doing to improve the VA. He had a lot of questions about it. I told him all the steps that we were taking place. He did not mention anything specifically about my position, but it was really more about the policies that we were putting in place.
On your way out, you're warning against privatizing the VA. The president certainly seemed to say there that he wants at least some kind of private option. Did he indicate to you that he wants to move towards privatization?
Well, I think the president wants to see us do better for our veterans. Listen, I'm in favor of working closely with the private sector, whatever is best for our veterans. What I have warned against is not investing in the VA and making sure that we create a system that really meets the needs of our veterans and that the country can be proud of. And I think this is a balance that we need to do, invest in the VA, at the same time working with the private sector.
But you also wrote that privatization is a political issue aimed at rewarding select people and companies with profits. Which people and companies will profit, and what's going to happen to veterans in return?
Well, what I've talked about is that there are a number of political appointees that weren't happy because I wanted to make sure that we were building a strong VA at the same time that we did work with the private sector. These political appointees, I think, feel that what we need to do is dismantle the VA and move everything to the private sector. That would not be a good thing for our veterans. That would be reneging on our country's commitment to those who have served us. You
also write that you were falsely accused by people who want you out of the way. Are you referring to that pretty scathing Inspector General report about your trip to Europe last summer, saying that you improperly used government funds to pay for your wife's travel and improperly accepted Wimbledon tickets?
Well, this was a very important business trip where we met with our 5 allies. There were 40 hours of lectures. Everything that I did was pre-approved by our ethics committee. There was nothing that was done improper. What happened was that this was a politicized issue. This was used to be able to try to decrease my effectiveness in getting the job done for our veterans.
Your proposed successor, the nominee by the president, Ronnie Jackson, Dr. Ronnie Jackson, is facing some skepticism. He's getting praise for his service in Iraq and the White House, but real questions about whether he has the relevant management experience to lead such a large bureaucracy. Do you share those concerns?
Well, I know Dr. Jackson well. He's an honorable man. He's a great patriot. Good values. This is a very tough job, and you know, I think anybody who's going to step into this job is going to need a lot of help to be able to get it done. I'll certainly do everything I can to make sure that he succeeds, because this is really too important for us as a country not to honor our mission to our veterans.
Dr. Shulkin, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
And those will be some confirmation hearings for Dr. Jackson.
Tough questions for him coming up.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.